Okay, so I wanted to talk about this because a lot of actors don't talk about this, and this needs to be talked about. Okay, nobody talks about that period in your acting career where, or that point in your acting career where you worked on noteworthy shows, you have a good amount of like credits, you get recognized when you're out, pretty often. You've been a part of critically acclaimed shows or movies, right? You've done all of that. Nobody talks about the point in your career where there's that like up trajectory and then there's that like plateau, right? Nobody talks about that plateau. Nobody talks about where you've had success. You've had more success than a lot of actors starting out, where they have all that motivation and they're wanting to audition all the time because they know their big break is right around the corner. They don't talk about what happens once you get the big break and then you hit a plateau again. They don't talk about that period of time. They don't talk about how you lack motivation or you feel like, your career isn't going anywhere or you don't even want to do auditions. I see so many actors who are just like always excited to do auditions. And I'm like, that's just not like the reality all the time. It's like once you hit a certain point in your career where you've worked on some like noteworthy shows, you have some credits, you get recognized, you've been a part of something that, has been, very critically acclaimed, right? You feel like you hit a peak and then you're either at a plateau or you're at a dip in your career and you're trying to like reevaluate and find your footing back, in this career path. Nobody talks about that, right? So I think a lot of actors, like, they need to realize the reality is that they may hit like a big break and then there may be like a plateau or a dip, and nobody talks about like how that looks or what that feels like. It's always just like, oh, I'm an actor, I'm excited, I got another audition. And it's like, bro, like, it's not always like that. Like, you're not always gonna want to do the auditions, you're not always gonna feel motivated, you're not always gonna feel like, you're on the right path. So nobody talks about that, and I just kind of wanted to shine some light on that. So guys, I have an acting mentorship community on Skool, as you can see on my sweater here, where I help actors learn and understand the business side of acting. So if you are an actor and maybe you're just starting out and you want, some tips or some guidance from me, a working actor, on how to get started in the industry, or maybe you've been acting for a while and you feel stuck, you don't know which direction to go in next and you need some positioning, click the link in my bio, join my program, and I'll see you in there.